Welcome back to the show. This is the Third Rate Fantasy Show podcast, where I'm going to give you third-rate fantasy advice for week number 6 in the NFL. So let's jump into some news. Looks like Justin Jefferson's going to go on the IR for the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to miss 4 games, so you're going to pick up KJ Osborne if he's not already picked up in your league, or if you're in a deep dynasty league, you want to maybe put him up for trade. And then you can get somebody back in return or a low draft pick, either 2024, 25, or 26, if you're available, if you're playing Sleeper and Yahoo. Redraft leagues, he should be available out there. You might want to pick him up because he's going to pick up the production for the next 4 games, and Addison as well for the Minnesota Vikings. In other news, Mecole Hardman has asked for a trade for the New York Jets. So if he can go back to the Chiefs or get pick up with the Bengals or the Patriots, you might be able to get something out of him. We already know he's a wide receiver 3, so he's just not being used for some reason with the New York Jets. And the other one is Devontae Adams. 4 targets, 4 catches. Not using him in the right way. Let's reunite Adams with Derek Carr in New Orleans. Then you have Olave, Thomas, and Adams. That would be a triple threat for Derek Carr. And that would boost Derek Carr's value as well as Adams' value for scoring some touchdowns. And the other guy that we're talking about is Van Jefferson from the Los Angeles Rams. They're looking to get moved. It sounds like the Rams are trying to maybe get rid of some people, make some moves, get some draft capital. So I wouldn't be surprised maybe if you saw Stafford go and have the young quarterback step up and just build from the ground up with a young nucleus, or Cooper Kupp, trade Cooper Kupp for a couple first-round picks. That would be amazing for the Rams to start rebuilding quickly and not miss a beat because they've been down 2 years after they gave away the farm, as you do in fantasy football, to win it all. Trade all your draft picks and go for the ring and for the Super Bowl. So some deep waiver wires that we're going to talk about today on the show for week 6. Devin Tompkins, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He might get you a couple points if you're in a fantasy dynasty league that's 12 teams and 35 to 25 roster deep. Those are the kind of people you're gonna have to pick up on bye week. So Devin Tompkins, Darius Davis of the Los Angeles Chargers might throw in some. Turpin, I think, got hurt for the Dallas Cowboys, so he's another one to kind of think about and maybe monitor his situation. And there's Tank Dell's also in concussion protocol, so he might be doubtful. Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. You might look at his brother Equius as Claypool has moved on to the Miami Dolphins. So these are just some guys that you want to think about. So if you're looking for kick returners, the young rookies that are on special teams that can get you a couple points, rather than getting a rookie like A.T. Perry, who's going to be a healthy scratch. The running back out of the Jets, Israel Apaganda, who's also been sitting out with healthy scratches. These are the type of guys that you kind of got to look for in deep dynasty leagues. Redraft leagues, just look and see who's out there and do your analytics and do your research on who's available in your league. And you also got the Arizona DeMarcado, as Connor's also going on the IR, going to miss multiple weeks. Achane also going to miss, so Mostert and I believe Jeff Wilson. I'm not sure if he's yet available to play, but those are the 2 guys. And also Tony Jones Jr. got cut by the Saints, and the Arizona Cardinals picked him up as, I think, depth in the running back field there. So if you're in these deep leagues, you kind of just got to dig deep and find someone just to put on your roster and see what happens. Now's a good time to make trades if you're 5-0 and you're making a push, or you're 0-5 and you want to give, if you're in an Empire League and you want to help destroy the other guy so he doesn't blow up the league where you have to redraft. Now's a good time to trade some of your players and get some draft capital back. I was in a league where a trade went down, Justin Jefferson and Saquon Barkley for Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and a 2024 first-round pick. That 2024 first-round pick is my pick, which can turn out to be the number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, if you need in need of a quarterback. But it gives you a lot of draft capital and hopefully knocks off the Empire champion of last year, and the league continues. As we're looking forward to, if you're those teams that are out of it already, you are 0-5, and it's a dynasty league, this is where you start looking for next year. Start making some deals. Look at your team. Look at some rookies that are coming up. Make some deals for some running backs that didn't work out, like Gainwell. He kind of lost his spot. McKinnon didn't really turn out. Zamir White ended up for some reason. But I think that's coaching. That's just horrible coaching. You can't just run Jacobs the whole time. That's one of the Raiders are having such a big trouble. That's why I could also see Kirk D. Cousins on the Las Vegas Raiders before the October 31st trade deadline in the NFL. We could see a lot of new faces and new places, and for a fantasy league, make that gamble, make that trade, and figure out what's going to happen for your team. So if you have any questions or any advice for my third-rate show, please leave it in the comments on YouTube or email me at the MikeDCShow@gmail.com, and I'll get right back to you, because I love fantasy football and I love third-rate advice, because nobody's an expert. Everyone fails. It's just like a bet. Either it comes in or it doesn't. It's a 50-50. Like last night, a few leagues that probably needed just a few extra yards out of Jacobs, and they didn't quite get it. So this is the third-rate fantasy show, and I am your host, Mike DC, and we'll see you next week. Enjoy your games this week.